butties, Dawn scoffs the lot.
You're gonna curl their hair.
You're gonna make them stare.
Nobody can compare.
No one would even dare.
You're coming round the bend.
You got a message to send.
You're gonna curl your hair.
You're gonna make them stare.
Heat them, twist them, curl your hair, make them stare. Benders only from Clairol.
I miss my home so far away, quiet moments on a summer's day. I miss the friends I left behind. Those times will never leave my mind. I miss the team, or the score, the warmth, the fun, but even more. Greedos, my Greedos, most of all, I miss my Greedos. Greedos, my Greedos.
The stars up above. Boy, must I
Well, I think it's
be a
absolutely shocking.
teenager
And I know all about what you think. Barbara, I think your window cleaner needs retuning.
When you need retuning, the menthol vapors in Tunes will help you breathe more easily.
That will be £3.50p, please, madam. That will be £3.50.
Tunes help you breathe more easily.
Price, get on up to the very best of the godfather of soul, the one and only James Brown. 18 cuts of sexy soul power. It's hot, hip, and dangerously danceable. It's the only James Brown album you'll ever need. So get on up and get it now at over 270 Our Price record shops.
Listen, listen.
Now on 4, the Dawn comes up on the Mersey. And when that happens, you can be sure you'll hear that famous cry.
Scuff, son!
City.
Yes, who's this?
Just asked, how would you feel 7 people with a fiver?
Yes.
I say a big bowl of hot curry to cows.
Who's on the underline 6?
I'd buy a water pistol, go and hold up a bank, and then with the money I'd treat you all to a slap-up meal.
Well, I've got one here. It'll come to £4.34.
OK, we're waiting for your suggestions.
Well, I have done the same before. I thought maybe a pan of stew and a lager.
Buy a fiver's worth of spuds.
With just £5, how would you feed can recruit 75 people?
I've got no idea, that's why I need the help.
Hello, Colin. Colin.
Hello, send them the chippy.
No, what I was going to say, spaghetti bolognese.
Sounds like a very dodgy name to me, John. He's in Skelmersdale. Hello, John.
1 can of oxtail soup, a few mushrooms and onions.
What's that?
I'm a bit pushed, you see. My wife's in hospital ill, you see, so...
Yes, you can put the phone down if you want.
I've just got a little Walter on now. Well, I'm not a very good cook, but I'd have a go.
Oh, do we like chili?
Oh, aye. I've got hundreds here.
The end of line 1, it's Anne McCormick in Walton. Hello, Anne.
A lentil soup, followed by liver with herbs, and put with it jacket potato and some green veg. Or if you didn't want the soup and you wanted a sweet, I'd have the main liver and then, say, a baked apple afterwards.
This is Anne McCormick. She won the competition that we did on Radio City, and she's going to cook for us for a £5 for all the crew. This is our lentil soup, yes? All right, boys, come and get it. Right, now here we have the liver and onions and tomatoes, yes, in there? Yes? Yes. A baked potato and some, if you hang on to that for me, some cabbage. Now, that looks like a very healthy helping. And you've had your soup already, so there's one.
It's either him or Tom O'Connor's cousin.
Oh, well, I wish you'd got the other one, because we've got to talk about food.
What? Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I'm very good on intellectual discussion, you know, art, fashion.
Yes.
I could slip in a bit of food.
Yeah, please, we need
that's
food. Anything from...
How about
Yeah.
a chip butty?
A chip
Butty. A chip butty.
Right. So what do we need? What are the ingredients? Chips. Chips.
Good.
Chips.
Good
Lovely.
thinking.
Lovely. Somebody from Liverpool, from a scaffolder.
Yeah, Mike McGear.
Mike McGear scaffold. McCartney scaffold.
Used to be McGear. Used to be nearly was McFab.
Oh, McFab. And I'm going to ask him some questions now.
About cooking.
Michael. So, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Daybreak. Yourself?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes. So you model it all out of just ordinary ice and sugar?
It's specially made icing, sugar paste, made with gelatine and icing sugar.
So what's that you're pouring in there now?
This is just egg white. It sort of acts as glue. A bit too big. Some of them aren't the natural colourings, but you can obtain the additive-free in special cases.
You'll find that my cheekbones are very obvious.
There we are. So we have to wait for you to dry, then dust you off and paint your white stripes on your apron.
That's what we have to do with her every morning before we put the camera up.
Yum. And do you really think it looks like me? So, here's Liverpool then.
This is Liverpool, yeah.
This
the Albert Dock used to play it as a kid.
Yes.
Albert Dock.
Take one. Be funny.
I'll try. My name's Michael Gabriel. I work for Electronics. I'm here to tell you a little about microwave ovens.
Hello, my name is Frances Ward. I'm a home economist for microwaves.
Because we're in the basement of a theatre, at the end of a show perhaps, we'll get a lot of people down here. And with a microwave, we can serve them more quickly. We can pre-prepare a lot of food. We don't have to keep it hot all evening in unhealthy conditions.
It has a stainless steel interior to reflect the microwaves.
Are excellent for cooking those foods that have a high water content.
Flowers look towards the sun and they follow the sun round. Well, what the magnetron, which is the heart of the microwave, does is change the position of the sun, as it were. So all the molecules keep on whizzing around, following the way the magnetron's changing the electric field. And in doing that, they all get hot, you know. They all rub up and down.
And it vibrates water molecules at the rate of 2.5 billion times per second.
Combination type of microwaves are being sold to people who are ready to go on to their next microwave oven. In actual fact,
a microwave will penetrate to the depth of about 1.5 inches.
We certainly have some customers who are a bit nervous about the microwave. People who are interested in healthy foods and those sort of things have certain worries about them. But I think they're the same worries that people used to have about vacuum cleaners and the dust going up the cable into the electric light.
My granddad died of a vacuum cleaner.
Well,
there is 2 safety catch features. 2 safety catch features.
a microwave is excellent for doing your vegetables, but when it comes to pastries and chickens and cakes, of course, they do have their limitations.
Some people heat croissants in it, for instance, and what happens is that the microwave draws the moisture out of the middle of the croissant, makes the outside quite soft. And then as soon as it cools down, the inside gets very tough. And the same thing goes for things like scones and hamburgers. And
poodles.
Poodles
Never
is
put a
definitely
poodle in
no.
there.
Of course, it doesn't work with the door open.
And you've got about 30
Is that right?
That's turbo, which is a fan-assisted oven.
Red meat, you know, without the sauce, it shouldn't go in the microwave.
Absolutely.
Here we are. We have some.
Setting in. Setting in.
We have some food items to show that combination cookers brown.
Traditionally, it gives you the traditional finishes with the speed of microwaves.
Gorgeous.
George French is gorgeous.
Look, can you see? Look. What? Tim, look, there's something on that lens. Can you see?
The lens cap?
Is there something on it?
No, it can't be.
Oh, no, maybe it's all right. You can take that off now. Apparently, microwaves are completely safe.
It's cold here.
I hope it gets back soon.
This is television, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
What you're most likely to see on menus in Britain is the gravlax. Now, this is salmon, quite big fillets of salmon, as you see. And on this has gone pepper, white pepper in this case, chopped up dill, that's that one, that wavy one, and a mixture of sugar and salt. Now, that's in the large piece, so it will take at least 24 hours to do.
Basically, it's salmon, yes.
I'm no expert with this, but if we take off a thin slice, now, we can actually, in a way, well, cook it. If we use either the lemon or the lime, it doesn't matter because it's the acid in both that we're doing that will make it digestible. This is actually marinated in lime juice for 3 hours. Now, if you think of uncooked cod, it's quite opaque. Now this, you can see, looks quite white.
Hang on a minute. Does that mean then that we can just like go out and get some fish from our fishmonger and just put lime juice and lemon juice on it and eat it?
Well, if you really trust your fishmonger and you tell him what you're going to do with it, and you ask him to give you the very best and freshest fish that he's got, and ask him for white fish, then there's no reason why you shouldn't.
All I've done here is taken a little fillet steak like that, and I've trimmed the fat off. And it just gave me these 3 little fillets. Now, all you do, and I've not done this before, is you, having got the 3 fillets, you just flatten them. In the end, we do the same as we would have done with the fish.
We serve it with this Japanese-inspired sauce. It's sherry vinegar and soya sauce and wine vinegar. And
very nice. Tastes a bit like my first husband that I claimed the insurance on.
This is your gaff?
Yeah, this is the way they got this. It's supposed to look like a hat. It doesn't look like a hat at all. It looks like a caravan room.
Well, in the old days of the old Chinatown, groceries were set up, Dawn, to provide familiar things for the Chinese community that was starting up. Now then, they moved on to laundrettes because that was quite popular. The Chinese handworked them until the late hours. When the coin-operated laundrettes came into business, they outdid the handworked laundrettes. And the Chinese had to launch themselves into a new form of business, which we see is the takeaway, the small takeaway food stores that we see today.
They're the most popular soup I think you can get in Chinese food. There's wonton soup, a very traditional soup, wonton soup.
Yes.
And you got hot and sour soup, that's very traditional also.
Yes.
But the chicken and sweet corn soup, that is more or less a westernized Chinese food.
These are the spring rolls. They have prawn and vegetables inside.
That is a westernized thing as well.
Oh, is it? Is it?
Yes. But I think barbecue spare ribs is still westernized. It's very westernized. You cook in the way to cater for the Western people. When Chinese eat spare ribs, they eat it in a different way. Like, for example, ribs and black bean sauce, sweet and sour ribs, and so on. But this is the most traditional one. This is char siu baos. I mean, this is very traditional. This is going back for hundreds of years, thousands of years now again. Because at one time, for a traveler in China, they have no fridges. They make this, cook them, and then you can eat them on the way, you know, before they invented biscuits, I think. Previously, you've noticed English people tend to go for curry or sweet and sour and no more. But whereas lately, I find in the past few years, about 4 or 5 years, beef and black bean sauce with green pepper is catching on, you know, quite fast. And it's got a quite unique taste to it. This is very traditional one.
Well, once the Chinese have worked up a profit from the small takeaway shops, they were able to launch themselves into a bigger venture, such as the restaurants.
And that started in Liverpool and then moved out to the rest of the country then?
That's right. It spread to places such as over the water, such as Wallasey, London, as far as Manchester and London.
So thank you, Art Director. Here you are, here's your chips. What kept you? Well, I've been over to Birkenhead, haven't I?
We need bread,
Oh,
yeah?
we're going to do chip butty. First thing you do
Yeah.
is never shake the sauce bottle.
Right.
Okay.
I won't do that then.
Never do that.
No.
Secondly, you cut the loaf. Now, this really is not the right loaf. Where's the camera? Not the right loaf, okay? What you need is a big, starchy,
Big white one.
fattening, white, disgustingly yummy loaf, okay?
Yes. And how did you learn how to make this butty then?
Well, cooking, to tell you the truth, it's called I got divorced.
Yeah.
I got lumbered with 3 very beautiful children.
Do we
Just-
lay them on? In
No,
it?
no, no. You look here, like that.
Just like that.
That sort of feel.
Oh,
that
right.
sort of feel to it. That's good. Brand new bloody cod. Now, put that on top of there.
Right.
Huh? Now, all you have to do now, are you
Yeah.
ready? Is
Is-
eat it.
Oh, right.
This, oh. Tell me what it's like.
Mm.
Don't be afraid to, splurt it out. Just tell me, what's it like? Louder. Some people think this is disgusting, but I think it's disgustingly beautiful.
Oh, it's disgusting if you don't do it.
Absolutely. This is called a chip butty, right?
That's lovely.
In the 1930s, one man touched the lives of millions of women. He wasn't a film star or a singer, but a scientist. He invented nylon. Yet 2 years later, beset with doubt, he took his own life. Wallace Carruthers dedicated his life to women. Nylon by Wallace Carruthers. Nylons by Pretty Polly.
When you're feeling fine, there's a special look from Beaver Brooks. For those special times in your life, those special times in your life. Beaver Brooks, Beaver Brooks, Beaver Brooks.
Strongbow. Nothing else quite hits the mark.
Bonsoir. Ce soir,
Bright lights and TV screens, they just don't go together.
ils sont beaux, n'est-ce pas?
Fortunately, Ferguson have spent a lot of time reflecting on the problem. The result is the new anti-reflective superplanar screen.
Et voilà, la tarte.
See what you've been missing at any branch of Bennett's, Edwin P. Lee's, or Agri Electrics.
Buenos dias.
Grandad, you're back.
Hi.
How was it then?
It were great. Except for that foreign food.
Tell you what, how about a bowl of traditional soup?
Smashing.
The very first time all the ingredients in a bachelor's foreign recipe soup cook together is when you make it. So bachelor's gives you a fresh cooked taste with a different accent.
That's great, lad. What is it? Chinese beef and vegetable.
I thought you said this was traditional.
It is, in China.
Bachelor's foreign recipe. Soups you make yourself.
It's all good quality stuff then.
Oh yes, yes, you can tell it doesn't break and it's nice and it's got a nice texture to it. Nice feel. It's not slimy or sticky. It's good fresh stuff, is that?
This is Barry Waterworth and this is the fish and chip shop and he's going to show me all about fish and chips. So what are you going to do now?
We're going to put some fish in now. When it's finished, it's got to be a batter that's light and crispy and not doughy. It wants to be nice, have a nice biscuity texture. Mainly in Yorkshire we use all beef dripping. There's very few people use anything else.
Why do you use that then?
It just gives it its particular flavour.
You got a lot of pork for haddock then?
Oh, it's all haddock up this area.
Oh, is it? No
Yes.
cod?
No, no cod at all.
Oh.
I'll put
Do
these
people
up
ask
at
you to
this-
do them without butter?
Occasionally. but it's very difficult. You can do it, but fish contains such a high percentage of water, and you lose the water, so therefore it dehydrates and shrinks.
Order from the restaurant.
That's a senior citizen special and chips.
Oh, what, you serve senior citizens here?
Yes, we do. We do a special
You just
for
dip them in the batter and lay them in the pan. I'm now turning my senior citizen. So to make sure it gets cooked on both sides. Okay, and that needs about 4 minutes, yes?
Yes.
As well as everything else.
And the
How long do the chips take to do?
They take about 7 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes.
Yes, they're still tasting good.
Now, I think, Dawn, that your special is ready.
Oh!
The heat of the fat stops them getting fatty because it doesn't penetrate, doesn't soak in. If you use cool fat, then it absorbs the fat into the batter and they're a soggy mess. But the main thing, if you're making batter at home, is to make sure that the batter's thin. If you make it too thick, then it's spoiled. It wants to be thin and fried very hot.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just cooked that for you. What does it taste like?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Is it?
It's really lovely,
It's
yes.
probably better than any other fish you've ever tasted.
Yes, I can recommend it to anybody.
Oh, good, because I'm not a fish eater. I've got my chips and I've got my bits, batter bits, and my mushy peas. Now, Mavis, tell me about the mushy peas.
Well, they do them fresh every day. We put them, they're hard when we get them, we put them into a bucket of boiling water and they're left with an additive tablet and they're left to soak overnight.
Why do you have to put an additive tablet in?
Well, it just breaks down the hardness of the pea and gives them
see.
some flavouring. A little bit of salt. Then they drain next day and wash through so that there's, none of the soda tablet left on them. And then they boil up for about approximately an hour until they've got the right, the right consistency for the peas.
Are they really popular?
Very popular, yes, yes.
Thanks, Mavis.
Right.
I'll have a cup of tea.
I was originally a manager in a mill, and I decided
in a textile mill?
I wanted to work in the textiles, yes. And I decided then that I wanted to work for myself. So a friend of mine who has a shop at Skipton took me and taught me how to fry. And I enjoyed it, so I thought, well, that's for me.
I'm talking very quietly because we're standing in the middle of Bradford City Centre and I'm very embarrassed because lots of people are just looking at me all the time. We're here because the location was cheap and because I've got a friend who lives nearby. We're going to have lots of local people come and cook in our top hat and then some local dignitaries. Very important people are coming along later, 3 of them. So whatever we cook, we're going to give to the dignitaries later on. That's my introduction, OK? I'm here with a top-notch pork butcher, Peter Brambany, here in Bradford. And, of course, when you think about pork, you think about sausages.
Yeah, well, we used to make them years and years ago with bread and about 40% to 30% meat. And people still come back asking for this type of sausage because this is the type of sausage they were used to then. But, of course, you can't do it now. It's got to be at least 65% meat. Bread goes sour, and your sausages would last 2 days before they went sour.
Oh, I see.
It's when bread gets wet, it has a tendency to start reacting again. Actually, when we're having them, if we're going to eat them, we fry them in lard and give them some stick, crackle them up a bit, because they like them right well done to these lads.
You're a knight of the black pudding, aren't you? Which sounds a bit more like a stomach complaint than a position. When you put the black puddings, when they come out, they go into
this
a sort
mixture
of
soda. You see, they're natural, and they're all just bundled up.
So they're brown when they go in?
Yeah, we'll watch them when they come out. They'll gradually get darker as they stand and dry off. That'll drop into boiling water, say, for about a quarter of an hour. Or you can just slice it in two and fry it in fat or butter or whatever you want.
So in this boiler we got hams, yeah?
Yep. They're in plastic casings. When it dries up, that bag will shrink onto it and press it. A lot of these bigger firms put them into tumblers. They tumble into a machine with needles, and they add additives and liquids and things. So when they cook them, same as like that that's come out of there, that'll have already been put in, so they're not losing anything. You can get up to £4 if you tumble them long enough. But then when it comes out and you've cooked it, it's spongy and in solid meat. But these are just hams put in with no liquid. They're just the natural hams.
So what's that you're bringing out now?
These are pig's trotters and snouts and tongues. We call them pig's parts, actually. These are the tongues, you see.
Yeah. That's
the snout. You can tell now that's to be boned. It's picked off. And these are the nice little succulent feet.
How do you get the crackling so good? I can never get it that good on.
If you wanted it to do it at home, if you diluted salt with water and just laid your pork in it, say for half an hour, you get the same effect.
Before you cook it?
This is the beef.
How would you cook that differently to cooking the pork?
Well, this is
pork in there
cooked
as
in
well?
water. You see, with nothing to crackle on this. And it's partly, it is done as a roast, but if you didn't do it without the water, it'd be very, very dry, because as I say, it has nothing added to it. That is how it came in.
Also looks very well done. I mean, if that came out of my oven, I think I'd burnt it.
Oh, no, that'll stay like that now. That's as far as that'll go. You can tell if you prick it like that, it'll bleed, you see, look. That's the thing to tell you that it's not cooked.
Oh, right.
If you were doing it at home, you could get away with it. But if you're selling it to the public, you've got to cook it.
Does anyone come and ask for a crackling sandwich?
Yeah, many times.
Do they?
Yeah.
Can I have one?
Yes, we'll get you one up.
Thank you very much, Peter. Thanks for letting me film here. You better get lots of shots of that. I'm just going to eat my sandwich. Hello, I'm here with...
Mumtaz Khan.
And?
Rob Nawaz.
Right, and we're going to cook something... Well, not we're going to cook. He's going to cook something very easy. What's it going to be?
It's a pakora, which is a very popular dish amongst the Asian and very easy to make, which has a lot of vegetables in. You know, you can put as many vegetables as you can.
Spinach,
cauliflower,
and some potatoes.
Is that special flour?
This is gram flour. It's made out of chickpeas.
Gram flour?
Yeah, gram flour.
Oh, and it's just finer, that's why you
Yeah,
use
it's finer and it's easy to mix as well.
How much of that roughly did you put in?
Just about half pound. Some garam masala here that Mumtaz made.
We ground that at home because we find it's a combination of about a mixture of 15 different spices.
And this is ginger.
Yeah, this is a dry coriander seeds.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
This is going to go into pakoras as well.
Oh, right, OK.
Quite simply, I don't trust what's all pre-packed. Especially when you're doing specialized curries and.
Oh, that's red chilli powder, yes?
That's red chilli powder.
So anybody could get hold of that ingredient, yeah? That's not difficult to get hold of.
Right. And this is salt.
Salt.
Some spices are not good for one particular dish, so you have to ground the spices to your own choice and to your own particular recipe. Normally, people put bicarbonate soda in pakoras,
yes.
But I don't do that. I rather put yogurt because it's tastier and plus it helps to soften the pakoras. You know?
Yogurt does the same job as bicarbonate of soda?
Absolutely better.
We need some more garam masala.
Do you encourage people to taste all the time, yeah?
Yes, I do, because, if they don't like the taste themselves, they shouldn't serve that to the customers. It shouldn't go out in the shop.
So it's like portions you put in, yeah?
Yeah, small portions. You can put them as big as you want and as small as you want. Sometimes when you put them in oil, they all split because there's not enough ground flour to hold them together.
Oh, I see. No, it cooks very quickly, doesn't it? Oh, that's lovely. Is this what kind of oil do you use?
It's vegetable oil, vegetable cooking oil. You should have slightly more chilies in, and just put too much yogurt in it. You can taste yogurt in it, really.
I can, but it tastes very nice.
Masala now,
right?
As a main course.
That's quite a common dish, isn't it?
It's a very common dish, yeah, very common dish. And it's
easy to make?
Very easy to make.
Could I make it?
Yes, I think after this you'll be able to make it.
But I'm extremely bad at cooking.
He's putting the oil in and now he's going to put some onions in. When the onions are sort of golden brownish, then he's going to add all the spices in. When all the spices are cooked, he's going to add some chicken in and cook the chicken and it's done.
And that's it?
Yeah. He's going to mix all the spices with the water, then put them in oil. When you put spices straight into the oil and they burn, with the water they won't burn, so they'll cook slowly. People often ask me in a restaurant or in the shops, how do you tell when the spices are all cooked? I don't normally tell them, I'll tell you today. You can tell when all the spices are cooked in the oil will float on top of the spices, and spices will go down to the bottom. So oil will come on top. So then that's when the spices are all, ready.
Sure then that they're cooked.
And add some chicken in. It's all in garam masala. For instance, some people use in garam masala cinnamon sticks.
Oh, right.
This is a special herb from India. which is not good for chicken. Salt at the beginning of cooking, that is very bad because you know the salt doesn't dissolve in oil so quick. So it's going to stick in the pan and the pan is going to be black. Chicken is going to turn out to be black. He's going to put in tomatoes and he's going to put in coriander as well. To make a complete chicken masala for two will take about 15 minutes.
Oh, not long at all then. I'm going to have one taste of this, and then I'll leave the rest of it for our dignitaries to taste. So here you go.
Okay, right, there they are. Everybody wait.
Hi, hi.
Stay in the middle. With them.
Is this what you're calling dignitaries?
Yeah, well, they're the Bradford's bouncing back boys.
Oh, get lost.